Hi, everyone. Dale Pinkert here with Mike Venezia, the Mike and Dale Show on TradeGATEHub.com, sponsored by TradeView. So, Mike, I know a lot of traders have these spaceships, and almost like, they're like Houston, 50 screens, and, looks like they're in a Ferrari when they're trading. And you're doing pretty well on your phone today. So,
No,
that's what I'm saying is, it's not, all of this equipment that makes someone skilled. I think
after
that's
being
great.
after a couple of things, it should be the Dale and Mike show. It just sounds better, Mike and Dale show. It
Okay.
should be out of seniority, out of respect. That's where I come from.
Okay.
With that being said, a couple of things trading off the phone is that if anybody that follows me know that my program, my layout, if you will, got wiped out. Now, in
Yeah.
order for me to either recommit, I was thinking about changing platforms, obviously a TradeView platform. I was actually thinking about going to a Lightspeed branch. But if I did that, then I haven't. I had listen. It's like a race car driver committing to, like you said, either Ferrari or a Porsche. I'm not sure. I might want to change to a Porsche, which I've had a couple repossessed too. I mean, one of them was repossessed in my 20s. It was a bad month that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Stuff happens.
It happens. It happened. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that a couple of cliches to your point is it sometimes, and I have positions where I'm not throwing darts, nor do I really throw darts. I have a plan. I obviously know what I've had. I know my ranges before I even entered the trade. So sometimes you don't have to micromanage in order to let your positions work. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not in an aggressive stock like FUTU, which, by the way, I missed as a short, opening up 4%. Now it's down $8 at a $12, like a $10 range. But I digress, as saying that less is better. It's still a stock picking market. And if I'm somewhat trading off my phone, I'm not really looking, it's still this way. I'm not looking at the indices. If I look at, whatever I'm driving in my car, I do something, I take Tony for a hike. Uh, I'm not looking at the indices are irrelevant. I'm looking more at my positions and I'll get it up. Obviously, I'm
Well,
having
speaking about a bellwether, you brought up in the trading room that, some guys, that are good traders are shorting Apple.
yeah.
And, I looked at it and, this was a triple top breakout. And here we are just retesting it. They could hold it today. They could hold it for a day or so. But
Well put.
look, we diverge. It looks like they're going to crack Apple. So you could probably have a general market call if Apple's going to get cracked, which was the leadership. The S&Ps, I can't see, them doing anything right. And I keep thinking about what everyone's thinking right now, and I
Sure, I do
understand it.
too. Go ahead.
It's a range. Yeah, it's a range. It's a range. So I talked to Andy Constant, and he talked about that there are huge collars on. That's what everyone's doing right now. So kind of like a strangle. They're selling the 42 calls. They're
That's why
selling
we're in the range. Everybody's protected for the expansion either way.
they're selling the 36 puts.
Good, right? I
And
get it.
everyone's embraced that we're going to, arrange, and I could understand why, but it makes me think that now that people are now expecting a range, that we could have the ranges
Like
taken out, the
I,
collar broken,
I
and the
can't agree more. I can't.
dog run away, man,
I can't
break
agree
right
more.
out of the collar. So, and under 3600 there'd be a lot of air. And coincidentally, just this formation right here, 38 to 4,000 ballpark. That's a big range. Under 38, what do you think you get? 36,
That's right.
just
Under 30,
arithmetically.
my range is between 42 and 38. And by the way, I can't agree more with the collar. And with that being said, and I agree with that, because if one of those breaks, you're basically first of all, I don't agree with it. Hedging very rarely works. I'm not going to lie to you, because when you get to be a hedge, you basically are trying to time the market. You're at that particular point. You say my positions are timing to the point where they're either lofty or down. So I'm going to hedge. Hedging very rarely works. And when they take off the collar, it's probably going to be on the wrong side.
Yeah, so I think they're
No,
just trying to capture premium on both sides. I'm not sure it's a hedge, because you know, they're collecting premium on the calls they sold, they're collecting premium on the puts. But what happens is it can work for a few cycles, like picking up quarters
Right.
off the sidewalk. And then you have that one side of the option trade and they're short both calls and puts. So it could happen on the upside too. If we broke out over 4,200, the call writers would have to scramble. We break down under 36, the put writers would have to scramble.
I completely agree. And that's why you articulate a lot more professionally and better. But I'm going to say is if they do break that collar, they're going to be off. Usually they're going to cover the wrong side and be offside or down on that other respective position, whatever what they didn't cover, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the
Basically what you
dollar's
said.
weaker, and a weaker dollar the last couple of days really hasn't helped the market much. So, you know, when I look at, you know, I look at this chart, to me, it's there's no trend, and we just covered why people are doing what they're doing. But I almost have a feeling like I don't want to be long anything except maybe the dollar if it digs its heels in. We had a nice little rally in crude, but I think it's going to be a failing rally. Look at this. Had a nice little ABC, and I think it's a sell up here, just like I think the XLF. I don't know what you're
I don't even have
doing.
an opinion on it. I don't even
Are
know
you
what.
doing anything in the energies anymore?
No, no, I'm not.
Okay.
No, I have some long term that I have my eye on, but I'm not looking. I love trading the oil and energy stocks. Thanks for the question, Coach. Because first of all, they move together, and I think that no. Listen, no, I don't. I don't know what to do. Why?
I would, you know, sell a
Well, I know.
rally up here to 82.
That's
Uh,
not. It's not worth it for me, Coach. In all due respect, I get it.
to short it.
The majority they do rally up to the 200. You've been right on. Retaught me that as well. That they have been rallying stocks underneath. They've been going to the 200-day resistance, the good ones,
Okay.
and I understand why you say that, but 80 to that's a tough capture for me.
Okay. And then you talk about the regionals, right? That have been decimated. Here's one ETF that's like it. And there's another low coming. It could continue to bounce, but this isn't the low. There's going to be at least one more low, and that may be the time to buy the S&Ps after the banks flush one more time. So those are the things I'm seeing. The miners are acting great. It's aggravating to watch them grind higher
I have them
without
still.
me.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, good for you. You're very smart not listening to me. I mean,
No,
they all look pretty good here. Here's FCM. I bought it here. I got out here, and now, you know, I can't reach. That looks pretty good. The silvers really look good.
PAS is my best one. PAS.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's looks great. GDX. I
That
mean,
looked better.
we filled the gap. We did a lot more than I thought we were gonna. I thought we'd fail at 30 and a half.
Coach,
So
if this wasn't a multi-cycle hold for me, I probably would have lightened up too. But I'm trying not to. You know what I mean? I'm letting it roll. You know what I
uh,
mean?
yeah, I mean, it looks great. You know, even some of the small ones. So they're the only group that's really acting good. I mean, can you find, and I mean, the semiconductors, they're taking a rest because
No,
yields have come
that's
back.
more than a rest. Today's more than a rest, maybe from what
And
I'm
then
seeing.
last week we talked crypto, and the way
Great
it
trade.
got crushed, we were
Mhm.
talking coin. And the day we talked about it, it was near the high. And then there were a few gaps, and it's in trouble. I think I have coin up here. Here we
You
go.
do.
All right, so there's coin. I think I was looking at it here and I go, because I was looking for a top in Bitcoin last week. It didn't really have it topped out, but didn't have the break till this week. But this is a problem. All these crypto things I think are a problem. Let's look at the semis because that was a strength, right?
It was a
Mike
strength.
and Microsoft, what are you doing with that now?
I'm not in it anymore.
Okay, so this looks like it could correct
I sold Meta
260.
today. I sold a lot of them.
Okay,
I
so
took a loss in a
260.
couple.
All right.
Those are big
Emerging.
winners, but I took a loss in a couple that I initiated a couple of days ago. I digress.
Okay. Emerging markets, they look okay. Here's CAT. which rolled over. Look at that. I mean, we were talking about cat, 2 months ago when it was peaking up here, and the same thing with deer.
You love that short. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah, and deer.
the short.
Yeah,
It took
deer.
a little, just like you said about Apple break. It might
Yeah,
take a day or two, but when you said
right.
the deer short, it took maybe 3 or 4 days, if I remember correctly. I remember I point out where you shorted it.
And they both
It
look
was like at
the same.
440,
Yeah,
440 around there,
and
438.
and
Yeah,
and it really hasn't broken down yet. When I look at the daily, it's holding the 200 days. So, but I think it will break down. And here was the reason. This is what caught my eye on deer was it the weekly? Yeah, one
that's what.
confirmed
Yeah,
high,
that's correct.
two, and then three. So this looks like a third drive up here. And again, under 375, man, that opens. There's a lot of space under there. So the market better
That's a
hold.
crowded. How about this? That's a crowded bull collar. Whoa, did I put that
Okay.
correctly?
Okay.
I
Yeah, you
wouldn't
think
buy it.
there's a
I think
lot?
that's an
You think
that's too obvious.
okay, so what really, at Nasdaq the last couple days, um, it was much stronger over the last, I don't know, 2, 3 weeks, outperforming S&Ps, almost a different looking chart, right? There's the Qs and here's the S&Ps. I mean, Nasdaq took out these highs. S&Ps are way underneath these highs. So what turned people negative Nasdaq all of a sudden is that they don't think rates are going to drop much more than they already
Everybody's
have.
overweight them.
Okay, so it's just too
CT,
crowded.
we'll point up the CT. Don't I mean? Do you? By the way, Coach. I mean, we're off. Do you agree with the CTA positioning, or it's one tool? But do you go by that? Is that one tool that you use?
I didn't even really I used to follow commitment of traders reports, but
Right.
no, I never really made much out of CTA. I hear a lot of people talking about it,
Yeah.
writing about it. Do you think
Yes.
it's a
That's why I post it. Just because not because I hone in on it, because of the back testing that I do. It happens to be more work, for lack of a better term, better than, well, it's one of the tools I believe in. Some people, hit their driver better than their pitching wedge. I
yeah.
prefer a club certain to others. This is what I prefer. They're all on, and I get it. But I'll share in a second. I'll show you what I'm talking about. But the S&P is hanging up because it's about, listen, it's about positioning for me now. It's about positioning.
Okay, here's a Russell almost back to the October lows trying to bottom. But a lot of the smaller banks included in
I
this.
pointed up this morning that AUI was taking a lot of option flow, bottom right on your screen there.
Oh yeah,
AUI.
okay.
I think that was the only one that I put
Yeah, Yamana Gold.
taking more even option flow today, and the right kind of option flow.
Okay. Okay. I mean, the only thing that bothers me about the gold, and it's still true on a few, is that gold did this. All right, see, blew through these highs. We have a breakout. You could stay long gold until it's back under 1930. I think I might be wrong in silver. Just doesn't want to break. The gold silver ratio isn't turning. But again, the gold, look how powerful it was. And then you pull up, let's even go to, best of breed. So you see how these highs were taken out? Now look at Newmont. It looks like a bounce in a bear market. So I just, I felt like I was in laggards, but they're playing catch up. I always get screwed up on those trades because of
No, I do too. That's why we're in
my
the
work
conversation.
of my work of relative strength, and I go, well, God, why I should just be long the metal. Why am I
How
long
about
the miners?
WPM? That's the best of breed.
What's that?
WPM is the new best of breed.
Okay, that used to be what again? I forgot.
Silver wheat in the old
Wheaton.
SLW.
Yeah, that's right. That is. I remember when it was cheap. I mean,
Still cheap.
$10 stock.
But listen, I traded it. Listen, I want the others to work out like this one. I micromanage this trade.
Oh yeah, this one went to a new high.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's wheat and precious metals. All you have to look
Yeah.
at the last two words, precious metals.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm in that.
And
but not enough. And I had a lot of it. Not gonna
Well,
lie.
you know what? I will say one thing, on the daily, we're diverging. Probably not on shorter term stuff. Let's see. Yeah, even on the daily. So, it's getting pretty stretched. So just something to keep in mind.
But like you said about with other things that run away now. Now, what am I going to start building a position again at 45? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You've learned to do that, okay? If there's one skill that you could teach our members that come in here, is your
Entering.
skill of a great hold.
Oh,
A lot of people can do, make a great call, make a great trade, but the thing that separates P&Ls is the great hold.
and fewer positions.
Yeah, but the
Fewer
great
bigger
hold
positions.
to be there for a wave, not just for the tough money, which I'm still working on. I'm
You
there
know
for
what
the
it could,
tough money.
you know
Go
what it
ahead.
could be happen to do with coach? I don't really know I don't really know the instrument that well. The more that I know it, the more I micromanage it, and then they're more disseminate. That it's just all. So you're like, even what was
That's
that? The old
great.
silver wheat. And I think I said I think so. So that's the
Yeah,
ones that work. I just let them. If it was Micron, I'd be looking
yeah,
at the book to bill. I'd be looking
yeah.
at what China does at the open. You know what it is.
Yeah,
Dan
being
Niles. I'd
micro,
be getting the Dan Niles report now. But that was
grabbing anything too tight,
yeah.
and just trying to squeeze every reason out. It's like looking for the perfect trade. There's
And
no such thing.
And that's when trade, it's really that, like I said, always in the room at TradeGATEHub. You're not going to be short of ideas of financial instruments because we offer majority, if not all, if not, it's a high opinion that we have, is that you want to, you just want to kind of and narrow things down, if you will. But we're pointing out what's going on. That's the most important thing about being in the
And
room. The opinion,
and
yeah.
and then just a quick look at yields before we take off.
I'm
We
short
had
the
this.
TLT. I initiated the trade today. I apologize for interrupting.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I posted
Today.
it.
Okay, today.
I'm in.
All right. Needs to take out 103. This could
Believe
just
me,
be
I'm
a
well aware.
pullback. Yeah.
I'm well aware. I
Okay.
know that I initiated a position. I'm not seething.
Yeah.
Uh, with,
I don't know what did this to crude the other day when it was up $3. Do you? Was there news out of Russia or OPEC
I don't know.
or?
That was the Trade View New York City party. I was a foggy.
All right.
I didn't get
But
to see the crude report then.
this
No,
looks like
actually, I don't think it was. I don't think it.
this is a classic. This is where you're a seller.
Of course,
Not
every
down
trade.
here when people wanted to do it and we were diverging.
Well,
But if you're a crude bear, you're looking for shorts between here and 75. Use a reasonable stop, looking for new lows. If you're one of those guys looking for 62 or 58, we start getting over 76. I think the bears will throw in the towel for a while. So good luck on this TLT, buddy. Nice hold on the miners.
can I share
And
screen before we go?
oh
Thank you.
yeah, I thought all you had was a phone, but yeah, go ahead. You
No, I
got
have.
it.
I don't have. Oh, I don't have
There
the.
you are.
I don't have the freaking
There you are.
shoot. I don't have my quotes up. I do have TradeGate. I'm posting all day.
Oh, okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Share screen, new share. Let's just because coach we
Cheddar
want
Flow pointed out a big put buy. I think they were April's yesterday, out of the money where they went above the offer to make sure they got them.
I saw that, and then I
That's
said it might be just one trade. I remember it. All
I
right,
know.
couple of points noted, by the way. Nasdaq is on pace to outperform the Dow Jones by the biggest margin since 2001. The only reason I point this out, obviously it's a major stat, is that I'm not saying I gave a winner, a loser, is that the theme was prevalent. It was stock picking. You can't worry about the Nasdaq or the Dow. You missed all this. You know what I mean? You missed the moves.
People went to to Nasdaq stocks as a flight to safety trade.
It's that's fine, but don't worry about the indices. Worry about what stocks are in the Nasdaq.
Yeah. Okay.
Next. Good opinion by Roy. Listen, this is what's keeping us in that collar. The mood is the mood is apocalyptic. Biggest drop in S&P non-dealer futures positioning on record.
On record.
All right, so everybody can go listen. Zero hedges. He's not making it up. It's up to you to disseminate that. I think that's keeping us with the collar in the very same point That's what's going to break the very same collar of that range. You get it?
Yeah. And you would think that contrarian wise, the bulls would have the edge because, that's pretty dramatic.
Another one, keeping in mind that other post about the Nasdaq. This goes with the mega caps, mega tech caps. Nasdaq has had an incredible first quarter, but the numbers of new highs continues to decline. Look at this. One of the best first quarters, and that's the new high, and the new highs are basically not even going up. That's minus stock picking A. Actually, A1A is it sticking to the best of breeds and all these little ancillary stocks in that, and they're not moving.
Yeah.
So that's
I
know we wanted to keep it short.
They really balance each other out, but I would say that breadth to me means more than having that thing on record, lowest participation, because that's the actual market not performing how it should on a rally.
The CTA positioning in the Nasdaq. Let's look at what they did, for example, in the S&P futures.
Yeah.
Let's look at the example of the S&P. It's almost similar to this one. See how it's high here, and they were -5. They were high here, and look, and they were overweight, and the S&P was basically kind of where the Nasdaq was. And then you know what? They were overweight, and they corrected, and this is what happened. Boom. So I'm expecting the same with the Nasdaq.
Okay, that they'll come back in, and
yes, I do.
We'll get that Nasdaq correction. Well, if Apple is the bellwether, I'm with you on that, bro.
Regardless of what I feel in TradeGATEHub, I give you the economic data. We give you the upgrades and downgrades, movers in the morning. So we can even be like my grandfather. And I said, you can mute us and just go to the data and look because bottom line is, regardless of our opinions, which are good and high level, and it's evident by our viewers, is
get rid of your apples. They have worms in it.
Yeah.
Buy them back 20% lower.
Just go to the room, go to what's moving stocks. You want to go, you don't want to have to go to Yahoo Finance, which pikers do at this point. Sign into TradeGATEHub. Just go to the top news tab for the day. We have everything in stocks, Forex, commodities, crypto until they pull up right here. So get to know it. That's what we do.
Trader Mike
and Trader Dale. It's leave. You know what we're going to do is good karma. We're going to start it off at the Mike and Dale, but we'll leave it off as a Dale and Mike show.
Thanks for being with us.
Okay,
everyone.
Cheers.
All right, good hunting.